Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We are going to get started in just a minute. And meanwhile, I'm going to launch a poll so you can answer some of these questions. Don't worry about your audio. Everyone is muted right now, and we will open it up. We will open the audio up during the Q&A at the end. So before we get started, if you guys could just help us out and answer this poll on what do you struggle with the most? So select one or more of these following questions, please. Okay, so lead generation and social media posting are in the lead. I'm not surprised because this is all about social media and how to grow your real estate brand using social media. So we have a lot of good information to help you with that. Just a quick intro on Zentap. Zentap is a real estate technology that integrates the MLS and local market data in order to help over 10,000 real estate professionals scale relationships with buyers, sellers online through automated, branded, data-driven content, which we post on their social media platforms, helping them grow their brand. So we offer a lot of different products through our dashboard to help with social media posts, local market reports, listing videos, marketing videos, testimonials, and more. And at the end, if you want more information, you can just schedule a free demo and a social media audit with one of our experts. So again, thank you for joining us. We're really happy for all of you to be here today. And I'm just going to give you a quick intro about me. I have over 20 years of marketing experience on both the agency side and the client side. I got my bachelor's at UCLA, and then I got an MBA at USC. Now I teach marketing courses through UCLA, and I also am the CMO of Zentap. I've been with them for 2 years now, and it's very exciting because we are growing and we're offering more products, more solutions, and we have some great tools to help real estate agents.
Thank you, Betty. Do you want to stop that poll? So right now it's not showing any other screens.
Yes, thank you for reminding me.
Awesome. Okay. Wonderful. Yeah, so my name is Rachel Galloway. I'm the marketing director for Zentap. Prior to working for Zentap, I worked in brand marketing with various different e-commerce companies, helping them grow and establish their brands. And I was also awarded a W3 Gold for branded content in video for branded products and services. And today we also have joining with us Property Daddy NYC, Peter McLean. He is recently been awarded the top 10 entrepreneurs to watch out for in 2021. And Peter, I'll let you further introduce yourself a little bit.
Thank you, Rachel. Yeah, my name is Peter McLean, aka Property Daddy NYC, and I'm currently working for Corcoran. And over the last year, because we didn't have a lot of real estate to sell last year, I was focusing on building my brand, and it's kind of paying off now, with the market picking up. So I'm very happy about that, and I'll elaborate about social media a little later.
Thanks so much, Peter. It's a pleasure to have you with us today, and it's a pleasure to have all of you that are joining with us. And without further ado, let's get started.
Thank you. So during today's webinar, we're going to focus on how to grow your real estate brand on social media. We will talk about how to define your brand on social. Rachel will cover that. We'll talk about social media strategy, which I will go over. And then Peter will give us some insider tips and tricks on how he goes about handling social media. And then we'll finish it off with the Q&A at the very end. So also, we are recording this, so we will be sending out a recording of this webinar tomorrow, so you don't have to worry about taking notes. You can just listen for now, because we will send a recording.
Great. We are going to start with the define your brand on social, but before I do that, I want to start another poll here really quick to just get an idea of where everyone is with their real estate brand, and if you guys know the message you're delivering, because I want to talk about the importance of branding and how that's going to help you with your success on social media. So we'll just let this poll run for a moment, and I'll have Betty stop it and just
Okay, so it looks like a lot of people feel like they do not have a clear message and brand.
okay.
50%.
Well, hopefully we can help them. All right, thank you for running that poll, Betty. And here we are, define your brand on social. Like I was mentioning, to grow your real estate brand on social, you need to define your brand. Branding and business goals are the focus and foundation of your social media strategy. If your objectives lack clarity, so will your strategy. So while it's extremely important you know with certainty what your brand is, and if you want to have success with your social media marketing, you must know your brand. Brand is just a perception, and perception will match reality over time. I wanted to start with that quote to just kind of get the wheels turning in everyone's mind about this. Given the poll answers, I'm curious how many of you are holding back on posting on social because you're not clear with your brand message. The main takeaway that I want you to get from this is fake it till you make it. So if you don't have a lot of followers, or you don't have a lot of people engaging with your posts right now, that shouldn't be an excuse not to post. Maybe just pick one platform to really put your effort into, and really just focus on that, and treat it as if you already have the followers and the engagement that you want, because eventually you will get there, and creating cadence and that repetition and getting used to that is going to help you prepare for the success that you're going to have.
So can everyone see the slides? I just want to be sure everyone can see the slides. Raise your hand if you can't see them. Okay, good. Oh, you cannot. Yeah, I can't see them either, Rachel. That's why I was asking. I just see the presenters.
Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to turn the webcams off then.
Yeah.
One second here. Oh, I think I know why. My apologies. Here we go. Sorry about the little mess up here. So nobody saw the quote, I'm assuming. We'll just go really quickly back to this. This was the quote that I was showing that I thought everyone could see. So as I was saying, brand is just a perception, and perception will match reality over time. What makes real estate branding so important? Branding sets you apart from the competition. You can have a name and a logo just for the sake of it, but then you would be missing out on the power of branding. It's an arduous process that requires research and modification to become effective, but it's effective. Furthermore, you must have a notable brand to make an impact in social media, and social media can be used to help further build your brand. Real estate branding impacts both clients and you. Your clients gain confidence if in an attractive brand that looks trustworthy, and driving relationships and deals with your real estate brand will happen because of this. Furthermore, let's go on to your brand story should tell. So your brand isn't just your logo, colors, that sort of thing. It's where, what, why, what are your differentiators? What is it about you that's unlike your competition? How are you different? And who are you and who are your potential clients? Your brand is what people say, think, and feel about your real estate business. So if you don't know what your brand is or you're unclear about your brand message, I suggest that you ask yourself, how is it that you want people to perceive you? And that is a really, really good starting point as far as how to define this brand. And honestly, using this diagram is going to really help you further define your brand as well. Also, thinking about branding traits. Here's a diagram of different branding traits. As you see in the diagram, there's a different side to each spectrum. You've got feminine, masculine, playful, serious, luxurious, affordable, so on and so forth. It's important to define your brand traits. If it's serious, obviously the imagery that you're going to post, your logo, all of that should have that sort of serious tone, masculine tone, anything that in these traits your brand is. Can you define your brand? In order to stand out and define yourself from the competition, you need to be you. But who are you? Something if you really want to ask yourself when you're trying to define this. If you don't know the answers to any of these questions, then this is exactly where you should start. This isn't like a cookie cutter thing though. These traits are examples. So think outside of the box when you're thinking branding as well. Don't sit in the box, because the more that you are you and you are unique, the more your brand is going to stand out on social media. What is your logo? Do you have a logo? I want to pause here real quick, and in the chat, can you all just kind of say if you have a logo or not? And maybe if you're happy with the logo. Okay. I'm guessing either I can't see the chat or nobody's answering. So I will just move on and talk about logo here really quickly. Your logo should be a symbol of your brand message. Your logo is not your brand though, as I was mentioning before, but it's a part of your brand. It's something that when people see it, they immediately think of you. The design of your logo and brand message should properly represent the brand traits you have chosen. Here's a couple examples of real estate logos. Color is very important in the logo as well. It helps deliver that sort of trait and feel that you have. You see here David Acosta. He deals with veterans, so he's got the kind of American color, but he's also very professional and seems a little bit more straightforward and clean. What I would expect to deal with this man is somebody who's very straightforward, to the point. You've got myhotsprings.home.com. They did a great job of incorporating Myers Realty and things like that are really great for branding, kind of something to get the mind thinking when they hear of your brand. And then you've got Lovely Maui, which is kind of more fun. The colors represent that sort of fun and represent this, the Maui, you've got the pineapple, that sort of thing. Also with your branding, you want to keep it cohesive. If you post an image on social media, you want to make sure that everything that you're posting represents what your brand is. If it's a picture of, say, a local restaurant and not you, in the copy, you want to make sure that you're talking in your brand voice. Don't talk in, just in something that isn't relevant to how you want your prospects and your audience to perceive you. But also, say you're posting something that isn't a picture of you, or of maybe local market content that might have your branded colors, but just an image of, say, a house or something. It's important to keep kind of a tone that is familiar and similar on each platform, so that when somebody goes there, they automatically understand who you are, what you represent, and they don't feel this sort of like messiness. And you've all probably gone to somebody's social media profile that's been very well organized and put together, and the feeling that you get from that is a little bit more of a trustworthiness, something like this person really knows what they're doing, versus when you go to somebody's profile that is kind of all over the place, there's no real rhyme or reason what they're doing, and that gives off the impression that you're kind of all over the place. And obviously, being a real estate agent, you want people to trust you. You're guiding them, you're helping them. So the more you can be cohesive with your branding, the better your message is going to resonate with them. Also, you want to keep branded guidelines. This is an example of a branded guideline. This is something great to keep on your desktop or an image on your phone that just kind of shows the text, the type of font that you're going to use, your branded colors, what those branded colors are for. Say you use purple for your headline, you'll always use purple for your headline, or there's a sub color that you might use for your sub headlines, different slogans, different types of font in different areas, and different logo variations. It doesn't really show logos on here, but sometimes you might see a brand that has like their full logo, and then you might just see a little favicon, which is just the image part of their logo. Knowing when and where you're going to use those is important as well. The 3 keys to branding. 1 is differentiation pillars. This is what makes your real estate business different, how these differences positively affect your customers, what your core message is, and supporting details that prove how you're going to help them. Next one is tagline. With your differentiators identified, you now have the basis for creating your overall real estate business headline, also known as a tagline. Ideally, you should try to create a tagline that is 5 words or less, intriguing, memorable, unique to your real estate brand, tied to emotion, and inclusive of a benefit. Here are a few examples of strong taglines. Nike, just do it. Apple, think different. True, smart marketing for engineers. Or like our guest, Property Daddy NYC, Daddy knows best. The third one is mission statement. If you don't have this, take some time to draft your mission statement. Your mission statement is essentially the elevator pitch for your real estate brand. Your mission statement must make sense to strangers. Those who don't know your company can hear this and easily understand who you are and how you can help them. It should be short, 30 to 60 words, easy digestible and to the point. And it should convey the what and who of your real estate brand and explain what it is you offer with a tone that gives the person an idea of what it is like to work with you. Excuse me, my nose is running, sorry. You also want to be memorable and inspire the person to visit your social media and want to hire you. So with all of that, here's some examples. Helping each client fulfill their dream of buying or selling a home in a personal, relaxed, yet professional manner. And here's another one. Helping our clients make prudent real estate decisions and in the process, prove worthy of their friendship so that we can become long-term friends and advisors. All right, well, with that, that concludes the section about branding with real estate. Did anyone have any questions about that really quickly? All right.
Thank you, Rachel. So I'm going to cover your social media strategy. So, it could be overwhelming as you sit down and you think about what is my social media strategy, but it's really important to have a strategy in place and to set aside some time to write it down instead of just starting with no clear path and no clear goals. Attempting to leverage social media to grow your real estate brand without a well-defined strategy is kind of like trekking through a dense forest with no compass. You're liable to get lost or struggle to find the most profitable path. So with the concrete social media strategy in place, on the other hand, your efforts will be more decisive, efficient, consistent, and ultimately just more effective. So take the time to make sure you have a strategy and don't just, start with nothing in mind. And fun fact, let's see how many people know the answer to this. You could type it into the chat, but it took 38 years before 50 million people gained access to radio. It took TV 13 years to earn an audience that size. Guess how long it took Instagram? I'm going to give you a minute to just type it in. How long did it take Instagram to get 50 million people on the platform? So the answer, surprisingly, is just a year and a half. So what took 38 years with radio and 13 years with TV took Instagram a year and a half. And I love that fact because it really just indicates how social media is become so prevalent. And it's really here to stay. It's integrated into our daily lives. And actually, for millennials, they use social media as a place to start their search. It's not even typing something into Google, but it's using social media platforms. And a statistic that we like is that 50% of home buyers now start the home buying process through social media. So what this all comes down to is you can't really, as a real estate agent in today's competitive marketplace, you can no longer sit on the sidelines and hope that, social media is just going to die out and it's going to go away, because it's become a part of our daily lives and it's only going to become more prevalent. So to that point, a recent Google study showed that potential buyers need to see your product or service 5 to 12 times before making a buying decision. So people need a lot of touch points, right? We're bombarded with information, with messages, with ads, emails, texts. I mean, we're like at this point right now, I know I am, where it's information overload. And I tune out a lot of things because I need to, but in order for something to catch my attention, I need to see it at least 5 times. And studies show that it's 5 to 12 times before you even act on that. So what that means is that you have to try different things. You have to continue. You can't expect to see results immediately, but you have to make sure your brand is top of mind. And you have to continue to devote time and effort into building your brand. So we have another quick poll for you on how many hours a week do you spend on your social media? So just trying to get a sense of how many people are really making it a priority and spending a lot of time, or just, going in there as they have a minute or two free. Okay, so it seems like between an hour to 3 hours is kind of the sweet spot, with most people spending 1 to 3 hours. Okay,
Mm.
interesting. So sorry, I'm just waiting for the slide to load now. So some things with social media that, to keep in mind is social media is hard. And I'm not saying that to be discouraging, but in the sense of building good content and building a community, it does take time. It is a time consuming thing. So you must remember that in addition to just posting on social media, you need to make sure you're engaging with your community. It should be a two-way conversation. So that means responding to comments, responding to messages, sending messages and initiating conversations with people. So taking time to really not even just think about posting, but also engaging. And social media is very addictive. It's very gratifying. And the more we get, the more we want. So it's really altered the way we interact with brands and businesses, even when we're not on the social media platform. And the last point is that it's really, social media is effective. It's no longer pulling people away from other platforms like TV and radio. It's really cannibalizing it. TV viewership and all of that stuff is down significantly because people are really spending more time on social media. So it's very effective, and if done right, it can yield results that are beneficial. So the 5 S's of social media that I like to cover are on this slide. So, you have to think of social media as a place where you want to sell, obviously. And this is where I think a lot of people spend maybe too much time because you don't want to come off as too salesy. You also want to remember to serve. So you want to provide relevant information to your prospects and to your clients. And that comes in the form of, information, articles, local market content about what's going on in their market. You want to make sure you're giving them information that they're also finding value in. You want to speak, you want to encourage dialogue. So you want to also ask open-ended questions and post so that they are responding and you're getting to hear from them. And of course, you want to keep in mind that you are doing things that have the sizzle effect, things that grab their attention and help you differentiate yourself, like Rachel said. And also, social media is a great place to save your past clients. It's free advertising. It allows you to stay top of mind with your past clients. Buying a home is not something people do frequently, or selling a home. But what social media does is it allows you to stay top of mind. So when that time comes, people think of you. And also when people have friends or family, or they know other people that are looking to buy and sell, they think of you. So that's another great outcome of social media. So when you're working on your social media strategy, come up with your strategy and make sure it helps you deliver on the 5 S's that I just spoke about. Also, your strategy really must be realistic based on your resources and time commitment. Don't try and do everything at once. You could always build off of it. And when I do social media strategies, I like to do things on a quarterly basis. I don't like to tackle everything right at once because I think that's just not realistic. So I like to break things up into the 4 quarters and have specific goals for each of those quarters in specific areas of focus. So some of those goals could be to increase brand awareness, to drive traffic to your website, to generate new leads, to grow revenue, to boost your brand engagement, or to build a community. So those are all really great goals and things that you could incorporate into your strategy. And once you come up with your strategy, a good way to get started as far as posting content, because a lot of people wonder, well, where do I start? What do I post about? So to simplify the process, I like to come up with some content pillars. So you think about what your brand is and what it's about, and then your audience, and you want to be right in the middle. Those are your content pillars. So you want to provide information that's relevant to your brand and relevant to your audience. And some good examples of content pillars, I think people should have about 4 to 5, maybe 6 maximum. But some examples of content pillars are local market data, get to know you, things about you, and show your personality and who you are. Past clients, so referrals, testimonials, basically things that are social proof so that people trust you and see that you are a realtor that has done well for other people. Or you could have aspirational, aspirational could be a content pillar, especially if you're focusing on luxury, the luxury market. You could post things that are very aspirational and resonate well with your audience. So once you have this, you can then develop a posting schedule around it. So you have something to work off of. So for example, you could at least commit to posting once a week on around each of those content topics. And that right there will give you at least 5 posts. And as you're, doing this, you want to think about measuring your success. This is key. I see so many people just posting and not taking the time to actually measure and analyze so that then they can optimize. But this is very important. Take time at least once a month and look to see what type of content is working best for your audience and try different things. This is, the great thing about social media is it's free, and you can try these different things. So you can test different hashtags, you can try different, types of animated GIFs, different emojis, different types of copy captions, images. You could test out local market updates, you could test videos, you could test Instagram stories or live video. And, a tip that we always give our clients is that the social media platforms, especially Instagram, which I know is key for real estate agents, Instagram rolls out new things all the time. Every few, almost every month, they have new things like Instagram polls, Instagram stories, Instagram Reels, Instagram Live. So they're constantly launching these new tools, and they reward their users for incorporating these new things. So what that does is it gives you these brownie points within Instagram's algorithm so that your content is seen by more people. So I'm sure, you guys have seen some articles about how it's becoming more and more difficult for content, organic content, to be seen on social media. These are things to do to make your content more likely to be seen. Is using these new tools that social media platforms launch. So make sure you're testing and make sure you're measuring to see what's effective. If you have an Instagram business profile, which all of you as real estate agents should have, if you have a personal profile, you could go in and you could easily convert it to a business profile. Instagram gives you great insights. You could learn about your audience. You could learn about your demographic. You could see, what percentage are male, female, their age range, where they're coming from. All of this is really important data and information for you to have. You could get it through Facebook, you could get it through Instagram, and some people don't even take the time to go in there to look at that. Okay, so content marketing, has become vital, and people say the analogy that content is king. And what content marketing is really, it's the art of providing relevant, useful content to your customers without selling or interrupting them. So again, content that they're going to find valuable. And instead of pitching your products or services, you're delivering information that makes your customers more informed before they buy or sell. And this is key. And this is why they'll want to follow you and see you as a resource to them. If you deliver consistent, ongoing, valuable information to your customers, ultimately, they're likely to reward you with their business and loyalty. So take the time to make sure that you're not just selling, that you're providing this relevant, useful information. And it's okay though, you know, with that in mind, it's okay to make, and it's very recommended that you do include calls to action. So you could ask, you know, people to reach out to you. You don't have to mention it on every single post because people will tune you out if you say, you know, call me for more information. But you want to be conversational and post content where they will comment, but also be accessible. You know, feel free to reach out to me for more information, or feel free to schedule a free consultation. Those are all great ways to, great calls to action. And another thing that's key for when you're working on your social media strategy is to study your competition. So which social media channels are they the most active and popular on? What types of content are they posting? Is it videos, images, stories, paid ads? How much engagement are they getting on various content? And what tone and aesthetic do they use? So I'm not saying all this to say, you know, you should look at what they're doing and you should do the same exact thing. Actually, I think you should look at what they're doing and think, where can you fill in the gaps? But it's a great way to get inspiration. And it doesn't even just have to be your competition in the sense of other realtors. I get a lot of inspiration and a lot of great ideas from big brands. To see what they're doing, because they have resources to always be ahead of the game. So, you know, they incorporate these new features that Instagram and Facebook and the platforms roll out, or I get ideas about different types of content or videos. So you want to stay, you know, relevant, and you want to stay in the know as far as what are people doing. A great way to do that is like some of these challenges that are fun that people post about, and you see people incorporate it into their brand and their type of industry, and that gets a lot of attention. So it doesn't have to just be your competition in the sense of, you know, other agents in your market, but any business or brand. And you can do it better, or you could find underutilized areas to capitalize on. But at the very least, take the time to put together a list of some of the competitors in your space and follow them on social media. And if you don't feel comfortable, you know, actually following them, you can just make sure to check on their pages every so often to just stay attuned to what they're doing and what they're posting about. So we're really excited today to have Peter McLean joining us. He, as we said, he has an impressive track record of delivering exceptional results for the clients he serves in the Manhattan area, and is a social media trendsetter and uses these platforms to stay a leading entrepreneur in the New York real estate market. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Betty. Yeah, thank you, Betty and Rachel. There's some amazing stats there, tips, and lots of great ideas. Now, the main thing I feel with social media is creating a presence online. And what you're doing with that is you're staying first in mind. So people don't normally use a realtor unless they need them. Like if you had to call a doctor or a dentist, you don't actually go to a doctor or a dentist unless you actually need them. So the one thing is staying first in mind. And the way we do that primarily is with social media. And it's also a low cost way of reaching a lot of people, local, national, and international. Now, some people find it hard to get a correlation between getting leads and also creating the brand. My thoughts are that you create the brand and the leads will follow. That's how I've done it, and thinking that it's more of a long-term investment or long-term undertaking rather than a short-term deal. So if you put up one post and it only gets 5 or 10 likes, that's not the end of everything. You have to keep on building and building and sharpening your brand as you go. And by doing that, creating a content calendar. That's very important, as Rachel said earlier, because a content calendar will enable you to feel secure about what you're posting and how many times you're posting per week. Right now, I chose Instagram as my main platform, and I feel that's what you should do, is choose one platform out of the many platforms available and make that a main platform. So from Instagram, I can post to my Facebook business page, and I can also post to Twitter as well. So that's it's very important. And also across all the platforms, if you can choose a handle or a name that is the same, that really helps. So when people put you into Google, everything pops up, and they can see that you have a good presence on the internet. Because one of the first things people do when they are looking for a realtor is they put your name into Google and see what pops up. And hopefully it's good reviews and lots of social media there. So yeah, one of the things is being consistent with your posting. And I normally, like I said, I normally post about twice a day on Instagram. And my rule is an 80-20 rule. So I do about 80% personal and branding posts, and about 20% real estate or business. So I'm not, as Betty said, telling people to buy or to sell all the time. I'm putting up interesting things, and when people comment, you have to comment back, like or comment back, and be proactive, and be social on social media. That's one of the big things. I do highlight certain holidays, sometimes quirky holidays. I do a more of a luxury brand, so I've found out from posting and sharpening the brand as you go on that things like cars and watches work very well for me. Luxury apartments, and also certain aspects of New York. As you can see in that picture there, my little dog is featured, Raven. She's the mascot for the brand, and that particular post there got a lot of likes just because it had a dog in, not because it features a washer and a dryer. Now, what to post? That's always the biggest question. And I'm lucky that I'm actually with the Zentap family, because on their program I get lots of items that I can post, from videos to pictures, stats, everything, and that helps me fill out my content calendar a lot. I use a lot of videos which I get from Zentap, and I also borrow a lot of people's videos online. And if you borrow a photo or a video and you do repost it on your social media site, always try and give the photographer or the creator a credit. It's also a way of tagging them, and you also pick up on their audience as well, because you're putting it up because it aligns with your brand, which is largely you as a person. Now, the thing that I use to get the videos off the Instagram is a thing called Reposter. It's an app. And it enables me to download the video and repost that on my Instagram site, and then I can post it to Instagram and Twitter, Facebook and Twitter as well. So that's basically the rip off and duplicate rule that a lot of real estate agents use. I do look at a lot of other people that are in the industry and see what they're doing and posting, and people that I aspire to, and I always get a lot of ideas from them as well. And again, if they took the photograph, or if they have a photographer, I give them credit and tag them in the photograph as well. As far as the 20% industry tags and photos and things that I put up, again, I get a lot of that data, a lot of the diagrams, a lot of the videos. I actually get a lot of that from Zentap, and that's been really helping me with regards to building my social media presence, because it's been individual, and I've been able to modify all the postings to exactly what my brand is. And getting a tag, I've got a tag there, Daddy Knows Best on Instagram, and I've actually made that my blog as well, and that will be turning into a vlog, which I'll be fleshing out on my YouTube channel coming up. So yeah, so that's all that. Auto posting is good too. If you have a program that you can auto post, it helps you with your calendar, and that way you don't have to spend a lot of time posting. When you do post on Instagram, make sure you use the 30 hashtags that you're allowed as well, and make those hashtags individual to the post that you're posting or the picture. That's going to help you reach out to a very wide audience, and it does not have to be the hashtags that are followed by the most people. It's the hashtags that are particular to you and your brand. So if when you're typing the hashtag, if you do see a small amount and you feel it's a part of your brand and it's part of you or part of the post, please go ahead and put that hashtag in there. There's certain programs too that can help you search hashtags and help you out with that online as well. Creating a logo, as you can see there, I've got a Property Daddy NYC logo. I did that on Fiverr. It's a great source to find designers, logo designers, social media designers, and that way across the board, everything is uniform. From Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, it's all Twitter, it's all the same branding, which is very important. And that helps you get a wider presence on the social media platform as well. So yeah, I really want to thank Zentap, because they've helped me gather all my social media and focus it in a way that I can grow my brand, which I've been working on for basically the last year or so, and it's really taken off. And they've got small things like a chatbot on Facebook, and if somebody goes on my Facebook business page, they simply hit a button, a bot comes up, asks them a series of questions, and then all those answers are sent to me. Then I immediately call the person and discuss, what this real estate needs are. And just 2 weeks ago, I got a chatbot from somebody in Chicago, and we got to talking on the phone, and he's coming up here on May 1st to look for a penthouse between $6 to $10 million. So it definitely is a good investment.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Peter. So I know, thank you for joining us, everyone, and we're not done, but I know sometimes this is a lot of information to take in, and it can seem quite daunting. So we're happy to offer you a free consultation and a free demo. We have experts that can help you with a social media audit. I'm going to put I'm going to put a link in the chat so that you could schedule a call if you'd like to. I don't know if you guys could see the chat though, because none of you have asked any questions or answered any of the questions we've been posting. So I have a feeling.
I see them actually. It seems like instead of the actual chat, everyone's just been putting questions in the actual questions.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, well, we will post the link. There's also a chat, and then we'll also, when we send you an email with the webinar, We'll put a link in there as well, or you could just go to our website, zentap.com, and you could schedule a free consultation through there. But let's open it up to questions. If you can type your questions in the chat, or if you want to unmute your audio, that's fine as well.
Hold on one second here. Let's go to attendees. Okay, so okay, so I've unmuted everyone. So if somebody wants to turn on their microphone, they'll be able to do that now. And then I see one person asked, how many times a week should you be posting on social media? It really depends on you, but you should at least the one platform that you feel is most relevant to your brand, you should try to post at least once a day. And it shouldn't be just post, one and done, leave it. You should post, engage with comments, share in your story to get a larger audience to engage with that. And then also throughout the day, check the post to see if there's comments and that sort of thing.
And someone posted, do most people on Instagram search by hashtags? So a lot of people do search by hashtags. So it's very important to use them in your posts. And like Peter mentioned, you don't want to always use the same exact hashtags. And just like he mentioned, the 80-20 rule as far as posting content that's, professional and personal, I use an 80-20 rule when it comes to hashtags. So 80% of your hashtags can be the popular hashtags that everyone is searching, relevant to your area, but 20% should be low density, what we call them, hashtags that are not being searched. Because the thing is if you're only using the popular hashtags, in a few hours, your post will no longer be searchable, visible. It'll be on like page 50 of Instagram. But if you mix it up and you use popular and not so popular hashtags, then you give your post a longer shelf life when people search. It's more likely to appear on the first or second page. So you can think of the Instagram Explore page kind of like a Google search, right? A joke that I hear is like, if you want to bury a dead body, the best place to do it is on page 5 of Google, because people usually don't continue scrolling and going to page 5. It's like we look at the first page, we look at the second page, and then we're done.
That's a good one. I haven't heard that one. I like that one.
Yeah, someone asked what other social sites would be good to advertise on. So I agree with Peter. I think for real estate agents, Facebook and Instagram are the top ones. Focus your time and energy on those, and you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone in the beginning. You can turn on the auto post feature so that you don't feel like you're needing to post on both and do content that's different. Or, another thing you could do if you don't feel comfortable posting the same exact content on Instagram, on Facebook, is don't post it on the same day. You could post something on Facebook, on Monday, and then you could post it on Instagram on Friday. That's totally fine. Organic content on both of those platforms, not all your audience is going to see your content. So actually, I was at a digital marketing seminar with huge brands, and there was a marketing representative from BuzzFeed that was saying we spend tens of thousands of dollars in creating these videos, and we realized that it's only reaching 5 to 10% of our fans. So what we do now is we recycle the videos. We use a new thumbnail for the video and maybe a different title, but they'll post the same video over and over and over again to reach more people. And you can do the same thing. You mix it up. You don't have to post the same exact caption. You can just maybe change it or change the image, but don't feel like it always has to be completely fresh and new.
Yes, thank you. Betty, I can't actually see any of the other questions that people are posting, but it seems you can. So if anyone else
There's just one more question. Someone said, can you, actually there's another one as well, but one question was, can you give us more information about claiming yourself on Google? Jean asked this. Are you referring to claiming your business, your Google My Business profile? We can help you with that, and we have experts that focus on that. It's not something right now that I can go over because it is time consuming, but if you want to schedule a time for someone to reach out to you or reach out to us, we can definitely help you with that. And then the last question that Brenda asked is, does Zentap allow clients to turn off auto posts to Instagram like it does to Facebook? Yes, we do allow that. You can turn that off. You can select the type of content you want. We give you different choices of local market updates, infographics, static images, and you could choose what you want us to auto post. Or, if you want to be in more control, you don't have to, you can go into our dashboard and there's a library of content that you can select from and you can choose. And some of our clients that want to be more hands-on do that rather than doing the auto post. So we give you different options. Okay, thank you all so much for giving us an hour of time. I know everyone's so busy, and we hope that you found this information informative and valuable, and we hope that it helps you. Again, don't feel like you're starting from this place of nothing and nowhere. Set aside some time and write it down. Come up with your pillars, come up with a schedule, and it's going to be a lot easier to digest.
Right. Thank you.
And we're here to help. So thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Peter. Thank you for joining us, and have a great day. And good luck with all your
Good information, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.